Welcome. This video is going to be focusing on how to avoid depression. Under the current circumstances, which have been initiated by fear, triggering off a flight-fright response system within us, has changed a lot of things, not just in terms of what our experience of everyday life, but has changed things within us. So, because we are under lockdown, this lockdown also means a mental lockdown, meaning that you are under threat. So when you are under threat, or when you feel you're threatened, and at the moment you are being threatened by the virus, threatened by the constant reminder that this will kill you, or death in other words, this has put you in a state of flight-fright response. This flight-fright response system has changed many things within your physiology. It has changed your hormones, it has changed your blood pressure, it has changed your heart rate, it has changed the nervous system, it has changed the blood flow, it has changed the actual pulse, the physical pulse that goes through your body, it has changed your electromagnetic field, it has lowered your immunity, it has lowered your ability to fight infections. So as a result, you are now obviously more vulnerable than you were before. So, inevitably, this is going to take us down a particular route in which we will experience or can experience symptoms that are classified as depression. Now, these symptoms include sense of pessimism, hopelessness, feeling sad, feeling isolated, getting into rumination, feeling self-critical, feeling alone, feeling fearful, having suicidal thoughts, confusion, inability to make clear decisions, feeling anxious, unable to sleep, eating habits change. So all of these changes, these symptoms, are as a result of you feeling threatened. So unless we find a mechanism of recognizing first that this is the state we're in, we need to act now. And there are simple actions that you can take which can certainly reduce risk, enable prevention, and if you are getting there, if you are starting to experience some of these symptoms, then there is a way of coming out of that space. The first thing to recognize is that you are in this state and not to deny it, to recognize it for what it is. The fact that you can't live your everyday life is one set of pressure. But not knowing about job security, not knowing about financial security, inability to make any real decisions, obviously all of these compound these symptoms, this feeling of, which are initiated by the feeling of feeling threatened. So the first thing to do is to recognize where we are. We are in a space in which we are now activated this particular reaction, automatic system within us. Now that we've recognized this, we first need to start now coming out of our storytelling mind. Rumination, storytelling, dwelling in the past are three main criteria which will very easily result in the symptoms of depression. If you find yourself living in that space, in other words, thinking about the past, replaying those stories, really then the situation is you're not in the present. And therefore, start first by meditation. 2 weeks of solid body scan. Once in the morning, once in the evening. And as you do your meditation, make a point of identifying two things. This is something that has been developed by Gurma therapy as a way of looking at the quality of your meditation. Look at what is absent in your meditation in the experience of your meditation and what is present. So for example, before you begin, sit and notice how you feel within yourself. So you may feel a bit anxious, you may feel fearful, you may feel that your heart is tight, you may have other symptoms in the body. First, notice the symptoms. Then, sit down. Your intention is simply to become present, to know what's going on in your experience of life right now. Set your intention. And then follow the body scan. The body scan can be downloaded from the Flame website. Follow the body scan for 2 weeks. This will allow you to become present within your body. After this, move on to the mindfulness of breath. Very slowly, very gently, easing it in. Easing it in with a little bit of body scan and mindfulness of breath, and then very gently becoming more familiar with mindfulness of breath. So we become present. By becoming present, we are first able to see that we are not in the story. And therefore, by coming in the present, we may experience calmness, tranquility, peace, or even deeper experiences of stillness, of silence, of feeling relaxed, feeling at ease. Or you will find that there are things that may be missing. Perhaps fear is missing. Perhaps anxiety is missing. If we focus on those things that are our experience, and we focus on the experience of peace, the experience of calmness, the experience of tranquility, sitting, taking care of yourself, taking that first step. If we begin to recognize this, we begin to recognize the positive in the situation we're in. That's the first thing. The second thing is, by acknowledging the experiences that we're having, peace, calmness, tranquility, presence, exploring what is around you. By doing this, by being in the present, you may recognize that there are states that you are cultivating experientially, which then begin to form your actual sense of self. So, depression is a risk under these circumstances. It is important for everyone to take note that with depression, we will deteriorate in our physical and mental health, and really this is an opportunity for you. So we can look at depression as an illness, or we can look at depression or the symptoms that lead us towards that as an opportunity. An opportunity to say something isn't right. We need to do something. So take those positive steps in order to ensure that you make the right changes that provide you with positive activities and experiences in life which cultivate a you that you wish to be, not a you that has been created by others and a you that doesn't seem to know quite what is happening. The other things that we can add to our schedule of overcoming depression is exercise, going out for a walk, taking interest in nature, taking interest in the colors, in the smells, in the sounds, in the blossom that is just about to explode, making sure that you're part of this. For this moment may never come again. Make use of it. Take note of it. Engage in it. And by engaging in the moment, you will also develop another capacity within yourself. A capacity that is no different from the source itself. Because all existence can only take place in the present moment. And by coming in the present moment, we synchronize with all that there is. In this synchronization, healing takes place, health takes place, growth takes place. If you can achieve the sense of stillness and silence, even for a moment, it is the catalyst that can transform all that there is. And the other two things that we can add to ensure that we don't follow down this area and we motivate ourselves, because these symptoms can affect our motivation. So how do we motivate ourselves? Well, there are two good ways. One is to do something that gives you pleasure. Cooking, eating, having a cup of coffee, drawing, looking at nature, anything that gives you a little bit of pleasure, watching a funny clip on your videos, listening to your favorite song. Or another activity is something that gives you a sense of mastery, where you think you've done something well. And it doesn't need to be anything special, but it is special to you because you do it well. And it could be simply rearranging your clothes, ironing, doing something that you do with care and diligence, something that you're good at. And in doing these things, you will find a sense of mastery, a sense of achievement. So here are just some suggestions to prevent us from falling down in a situation which can be harmful to us and others. This is your opportunity not to cope, but to take control, to empower yourself. And through that empowerment, change what needs to be changed. Thank you.